Good afternoon, New Year 7 students. I'm Mr. Mitchell. I work in Learning Support, PE and Humanities, and today we thought it'd be a really good idea to show you the school. We really want you to see some of the key places and meet some of the key staff before you come in September. Now, as you can see, we're at the front of school near reception, so we're just going to start here, walk through reception and show you the first part of the school. Come on, let's go and take a look. So this is the main entrance point to the school. So if you come through reception, there's always somebody here to help you first. So your first point of contact. You can enter the school, of course, at other points. So it could be around the back of the school or another entrance around by our leisure centre, the activity zone. But we'll maybe show you some of those places a bit later on. But firstly, reception. So obviously nobody here at the moment, but there will be when you start in September to help you. So we'll head on through reception. And as we head through one of our main corridors here, our first point of contact is the Science Faculty Office. So where you can find our science staff, so Science Faculty Office. And moving down this way, one of our main corridors that you'll be really familiar with, the Lower Street. So as you can see with the Lower Street here, right, a place that connects lots of classrooms and lots of different areas of the school. So the Lower Street. So if we head to the right first along the Lower Street, and our first place that we come to is the library. So let's go and take a look at the library. So our library and the facilities in the library. So we've got some computers here to work on at break and lunchtime, and obviously before school if you'd like to. Places to sit. So maybe a nice quiet place to sit, again, at break or lunch. Obviously, all the rows of books where you can rent a book and bring it back. We've got other facilities, including our photocopiers to print work off, maybe homework, or to maybe copy things as well. So, facilities in the library. Okay, moving back out then onto the Lower Street. So we're moving towards the activity zone end. So if I mention the activity zone, that's our leisure centre, but we'll come to that just a little bit later on. So moving down towards this end of the Lower Street. So off the street, the Lower Street and the Upper Street, which we'll see in just a second, we have corridors, which of course have got our classrooms. So here on the left at the activity zone end of the corridor, we've got IBL, so International Business and Languages. This is IBL at the moment, but it's going to be English in September. And just to the right here, we've got our humanities rooms, H1 to 6, where you'd learn history, geography and religious studies. Okay, so moving back along the Lower Street, and we're just going to move now upstairs. Now, as you can see, we've got stairs at each end of the Lower Street and the Upper Street to connect the ground and first floor. So we're moving up these stairs here. Lots of stairs actually in the school are one way. This particular set of stairs is up only. Okay, so up on the Upper Street then, towards the activity zone end, on the left-hand side we have our maths classrooms, and on the right-hand side we have some further maths and humanities classrooms, and actually some sixth form teaching rooms. So that gives you a flavour of this end of the Upper Street. So if we carry along then, along the Upper Street, back towards the middle of the building, a few things to point out. Firstly, all of our notice boards here on the Upper Street, so letting you know about different events that might be happening, or displaying all the brilliant work, including art and technology that some of our students might do. So always full of information on our notice boards. Just coming over here, just to give you an idea about our house system, so all of your tutor groups will be placed in a house, either Hobbs, William, Elmer or Athelston. And I know Mr. Baker is going to talk about the house system.
Hello, I'm Mr. Baker. I'm Assistant Head at Malmesbury School, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the house system. So every single student at the school is in a house. We have 4 houses. We have Athelston, William, Elmer and Hobbs. Athelston is green, William is blue, Elmer is yellow and Hobbs is red. All the staff are also in houses as well. We have numerous competitions that go on throughout the year. For instance, last year there was a really big success. We had Malmesbury's Got Talent. We've also had book swap events and various other competitions that are run throughout the school year. Another thing that is involved in the house system is when we have our sports events in the PE department. So our house football, our house rugby, house netball and house athletics and house hockey. You can compete for your house and for house points for your house. And at the end of the year, we have 2 celebratory days where we compete for the House Challenge Cup. We call those the House I Lead days. The other way you can get house points is by just being your normal selves and producing fantastic work and doing plenty of good around the school. Staff can award house points for a range of different things, and they go onto your record, and you can become a house star, house heroes, and even get a house heads award or even an Athelstan Trust award if you get over 100 house points within the year. It is a great thing to be involved with. It provides leadership opportunities as well, where you can become a house council member for your tutor group, and as you go through the years you can become a head student for that house or a sports representative and help organise competitions.
So in the middle of the street, a few things to point out. So we have our toilets up here. So in the middle of the upper street, and at each end we have some toilets, so toilets there. Probably one of the most important places in the school is this area here, right in the middle of the upper street, so the middle of the school, something called student services. So other than reception, in school, this is your first point of contact. Really important place where people can help you with any problems or issues or questions or queries that you might have. So student services, a really important place.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Lees and I work here in Student Services. So this is the place you come if you need anything. This is the heart of the school, and if you've got any problems at all, you need to come right here. So if you've lost stuff, you come to us. If you're lost in the school itself, you come to us. If you're feeling poorly, you come to us. And also if you've got sort of friendship issues or issues with other things in school, this is the place to come. Mrs. Wood also works in here alongside me as well. You'll have sort of heard from Mrs. Wood. So really, this is the only place you need to know. Everything we know the answer to. We're just going to walk around and just show you the medical room, just so that it's not frightening if you are poorly and you happen to come into school feeling a bit unwell. So in here, this is our medical room. This is where we'll sit you whilst we sort of find out what's wrong with you, get in contact with your parents and find out what they want to do. And obviously we are literally just across the way so that you can obviously contact us. That right there, this is my desk here. And all you do, any problems, you come to our window. And what you do is you knock on our window, you just wait. We will answer the window. We always like a please and a thank you as well. And in the office as well, we've got Mrs. Edwards. She also deals with medicals. And then there's Mrs. Copson. She deals with medicals. And there's some more desks back there, which seem to be a little bit empty, but everybody in this office is here to help you. So you just need to come to us and knock. Hope to see you soon.
Okay. Moving along the upper street further actually and moving back towards the other end. So I'm going to call this the playground end. So the playground end of the street. We have some more classrooms. So on the left here, towards the playground end of the upper street, we have our English classrooms. Now they're English at the moment, but in September, they're going to be our languages classrooms. This corridor on the right is our learning support corridor, and as well moves down a little bit further into our sixth form area. But learning support, again, a really important area for many of you. This is the place to come where you would receive extra support, maybe from a teaching assistant or some lessons that you might have to help you with your literacy and numeracy. So just to give you an idea of one of our learning support classrooms. So all the things that you'd expect in a normal classroom. So for our lessons here with a projector, our computers here for you to do individual work, and as well, a place where we'd keep our pets. So our learning support pets, Lucy and Sophie, currently on their summer holidays, but I'm sure we'll be back in September. So an idea of learning support. Okay, moving back round then and moving from the upper street to the lower street. As I said before, we've got one-way systems on our stairs. So this is a set of stairs to move from upper street to lower street. So stairs down only. So we're sticking to the rules and moving down this set of stairs. Okay, now we're moving towards the playground end of the lower street. So a few important places to show you. So firstly, down our restaurant corridor. Now at the end of this corridor, we have the hall. And again, this would be a place to meet for assemblies. Now on a week 1, that would be a year group assembly with your tutor group. And on a week 2, you come here bright and early at 9 o'clock for your house assembly. So let's take a look at the hall. At the moment, currently set up for some exams, that gives you a good idea of our space in the hall. So with our nice big projector at the front for our assemblies, and a place to come to meet your tutor group. Okay, moving back towards the lower street, just on the left here from the hall, we have the entrance to our restaurant. So come and take a look. So lots of space to come and meet friends and come and get the things that you might need before school or at break time or lunchtime. This can be a place where you might buy things from our serving hatches here, or it might be a place, like I said before, where you can meet friends and socialise, or even just find a quiet space away from your lesson time. So here, the canteen, our nice big space for you to eat your lunch. Heading back through this way then, and we'll move towards PE and creative arts. Okay, so at the playground end then of the lower street and turning right, we move into our creative arts corridor. So the PE office on the left. And here we have some art classrooms on the right and the left as we move down. So some art classrooms for you to see. We have here the creative arts office. So if you want to speak to any staff concerning dance, music and drama, then that's your place. Okay, so at the bottom of the creative arts corridor, we have our gym. So come and have a look. So in our gym, this is our space mainly, of course, for indoor PE lessons where we can do some basketball, we can do some gymnastics, we can do some fitness lessons. So used mostly in the winter when we can't go outside and do the things that we'd like to do. Maybe it's raining too much or it's too cold, so we might come in here. But for indoor sports like gymnastics, absolutely perfect. So our gymnasium. We've also got some other sports places that we use. So I'll just show you those outside. But before that, I'll just give you an idea of what the changing rooms look like. Now, our changing rooms, now usually we'd have a tutor group changing in one changing room and a tutor group changing in another. So just to give you an idea of this space, changing before our PE lessons and making sure that you leave all your valuables in this space. Okay, so outside you can see the spaces that we'd use for other PE and outdoor activities. So straight ahead, we've got the tennis courts here. Now primarily, of course, used for tennis in the summer, but in the winter, we might use that space for some football, potentially some netball and some hockey as well. So our outdoor space, the tennis courts, these can also be used at break and lunch, right, for you to do the games and the sports that you'd like to play in your own time. Just over the back here, so towards the right, towards the leisure centre, the activity zone off in the distance over there, we have a field again that we can use for football and rugby, whether that's in lessons or for matches as well sometimes. Moving across past the tennis courts towards this block over here on its own. Now this is the technology block. So here, you'd go through a rotation of different activities in technology. So it might be resistant materials, it might be textiles, or it might be food tech. So classrooms in here for technology. So at this end of the technology block, we have our resistant materials classroom, so woodwork. At the other end of the technology block, we've got our textiles and food tech classrooms. But just to give you an idea about how things work, when we come into the technology block, teachers will ask you to put your bags into these boxes here, just to make sure that those bags aren't in the way and aren't in the way of any equipment or machinery that's being used in these classrooms. Okay, as you can see, we're on our tennis court, so I just thought I'd show you some of the outdoor spaces in a little bit more detail. So we've got our tennis courts here, at the moment set up for tennis, but like I said, we use these areas for lots of things in the winter, including some football, maybe some basketball if indoor spaces are being used, but definitely netball and hockey. So we've got some lovely outdoor space here. Moving past the tennis courts, we've got this area of land here between the tennis courts and the activity zone, our leisure centre, over there in the distance. So let's go and take a closer look. So at the moment, a great space for use in the summer. We've got some cricket or some rounders activity going on at the moment, which is great. This space would be used mostly in the summer for athletics, rounders and cricket. Let's go and take a look at the activity zone. Now if we come to the far side of the field here, now you wouldn't access it through the field. There's actually a path that runs around the back of the school here and a gate through to the activity zone. But we're extremely lucky here that we have use of the activity zone in addition to all our other PE and sport facilities. In here, we're extremely lucky to have the swimming pool. We've got a gym that you can use in Key Stage 4 and we've got another sports hall which is absolutely fantastic for more gymnastics and more basketball. You may have even been into this place right, for those primary school competitions. So the activity zone. Now following the path back around the tennis courts, you can see a few more areas here. Now this is one of our courtyards and we describe courtyards as a space between corridors in the school. So as you can see here, between the creative arts corridor and some of the science classroom, we have one of our courtyards here. So these courtyards are located around the school, so places to sit at break and lunch, somewhere quiet maybe to find away from lessons or from some of your friends in your tutor group. Here, look, you can see in this particular courtyard, we have some table tennis tables, so feel free to bring your ping pong gear. So around the back of the PE changing rooms that I showed you earlier. So before PE lessons, we'd expect you to wait here and line up and just get ready to come into the change rooms for PE lessons. This staircase here is not to be used by you. That's an entrance to the sixth form block. Just so you know what it is. Curious, a lot of you, I know, but you can't use this staircase. So moving back around the school here, I'll just show you a few of our other outdoor spaces. Some lovely spaces here, look, on the right, to sit and eat lunch or to meet friends at break and lunch. You can probably see as well, off in the distance over there, some activities that you can do. That's called our trim trail. So you've got some pull-up bars, some monkey bars over there, right, some tyres to jump through, some things to balance on, or some things to practice your gymnastics skills. So we've got our trim trail, so more things for you to do at break and lunch. This hardcourt area as well, and I know I've called it the playground, but this hardcourt area as well, we use quite a lot, particularly for netball and particularly for some of our hockey as well. But mainly, this is used for a space for you to do the activities that you'd like to do at break and lunch. So if we walk around the back of the canteen, so coming back round towards the front of school, you can see here that this is the place to wait for your bus at the end of the day. These are our bus bays here just beyond these signs. So you wait here on the playground until your bus arrives and then off you go. So wait in here for the bus and arrive in here on your bus as well at the start of the day. So our bus bays here at the front of school. So turning left back towards reception. Okay, and here we are back at reception. Thank you for joining me on the tour today. It'd be really good to see you in September. We really look forward to meeting you all. And remember, once you're here, you're going to be safe, you're not going to be on your own, and there'll be plenty of people here to help you. Thanks very much.